You're watching Cape Media News, brought to you by Cape Media Center.
Tonight on Cape Media News, local activist groups file lawsuit against the town of Barnstable.
Plus, GBH comes to Hyannis to talk politics with young voters.
And a look back at the final week of Cape Cod Baseball League.
These stories and more are coming up next.
Good evening. It is August 16th, and welcome to Cape Media News, your source for hyperlocal news that matters. I'm Lauren Williamson.
And I'm Jamie Horton.
With profound sadness, the town of Yarmouth announces the passing of Michael F. Stone, chair of the Select Board, on August 13th, 2024. Michael, a longtime resident of Yarmouth and a committed public servant, passed away at the age of 76. Leaving behind a legacy of dedication and service that has profoundly impacted the community. Michael Stone's service to Yarmouth was extensive and multifaceted, spanning over 4 decades. He was a distinguished member of the Select Board for 11 years, during which he served as both chair and licensing chair. His leadership was marked by thoughtful decision-making, an unwavering commitment to the welfare of Yarmouth's residents. In addition to his role on the Select Board, Michael served as a Yarmouth Recreation Commissioner for 20 years. His tenure saw significant growth in the town's recreational facilities and programs, benefiting countless residents. His passion for youth development extended beyond his official duties. He dedicated over 25 years to coaching and mentoring young athletes, leaving an indelible mark on the lives of many in the community. Michael's contributions to Yarmouth extended far beyond his professional achievements. He was a mentor, a coach, a leader, and a friend to many. His commitment to the community he loved will be remembered and cherished for generations to come. Michael is survived by his wife, Gail, and their daughters, who were born and raised in Yarmouth and are proud graduates of Dennis Yarmouth Regional High School. His deep roots in the town he served so faithfully are a testament to his love for his community. The town of Yarmouth and all of us here at Cape Media News extend our deepest condolences to Michael's family and friends during this very difficult time. His absence will be deeply felt by all who had the privilege of knowing him. Further details regarding his memorial service will be provided within the coming days.
On June 13th, the Barnstable Town Council voted in executive session to grant easement rights for Craigville Beach. 2 local activist groups, Save Greater Dowses Beach and Barnstable Speaks, have now filed a lawsuit against the town, and we caught up with them outside the courthouse this week. Take a look.
So what's going on is that our 2 groups that oppose the landing of ocean wind farm cables on our recreational beaches, as well as a number of individuals, have filed a suit against the town council for voting to give away the Article 97 easement rights for Craigville Beach in executive session. What we're claiming is that that vote should have been taken in public, which would have triggered a 10-day period of what's called the voters' right to redress. And because they took this vote in executive session and didn't tell us about it until 2 weeks later, our right to redress was made moot. And we're asking that the judge nullify that vote that was taken in an executive session and allow that vote to be taken again publicly, which would afford the voters their rights to dispute what they did.
Well, the next steps would be for the town council to retake the vote in public, the vote that they took in private, to allow the Spanish conglomerate to bring, again, 800 million watts of energy below Craigville Beach and through residential neighborhoods. That's more power than Pilgrim Nuclear ever produced, would be to have them take that vote in public. That's all. So now we go to the town council meeting. And we hear about this in public, not in private. It's very simple, it's very fair, it's, in my opinion, the way things should be done.
I know there are a lot of open meeting law complaints, I think up to 6, that have been filed against the town council because of the way they address this in executive session. And what I want to say is that all of these issues were dealt with publicly for a couple of years, and to do this without the public knowing what was going on, in our opinion, is wrong. And of course, they feel it was legitimate. They have that right, but we're asking the judge to decide.
I think the more people learn about the hidden dangers to this type of experiment, this is the largest project of its kind ever in the United States of America, and the contractor has never done this before. So we're hoping things go well, right? The contractor doesn't expect any issues. Well, we've had blades fall apart. You know, thank goodness that wasn't some dielectric fluid, some toxic oil that they lubricate these giant transformers with. I mean, so the more people learn about these projects, I think the more they're aware of the hidden dangers. Unless it was a big safety issue, I think everybody would be okay with it, but it's not. It's very unsafe, and the blades falling apart is just an example of what could and will happen if we let this go forward in recreational and residential areas.
Well, if he decides in our favor, I guess that what he'll do is probably schedule it for his docket for a more full hearing. I know that yesterday afternoon, Avangrid Renewables, which is the company we really have been fighting for 2 years, submitted a petition to intervene. So now they're involved with the suit. They feel like they have an interest in this case. We'll see what the judge thinks about that. So I think he might rule on that today. And what we're hoping is that he rules today that we have enough of an argument to go forward. And we'll see what happens.
It's important that people realize that this is not an anti-windmill group. You know, wind power is very expensive. I think it's untested, largely untested. You'll find that many European countries that had a big reliance on wind power are now going back to different sources. Sweden's spending billions of dollars on nuclear. So this is not an anti-windmill effort. This is a please don't bring industrial energy ashore at recreational and residential areas. Whether it's Cape Cod or Cape May or Cape Ann, you don't need to bring industrial power ashore in residential areas.
We reached out to the town council for a response, but we have not heard back at the time of recording.
Bug alerts. The Barnstable County government is warning the public about a new invasive pest, the box tree moth. This moth was found on Cape Cod in 2023 and is known to be severely destructive to boxwood shrubs. These moths start out as a green caterpillar with black heads and stripes along their bodies. You can look out for silk left behind on your boxwoods and damaged leaves. If you spot these caterpillars, use an everyday insecticide from your local garden center. Since this invasive species is a federally regulated pest, report any findings to the Barnstable County Master Gardener at gardeners@capecod.gov. And for more pictures of the box tree moth, caterpillars, and evidence of damage, visit capecod.gov.
Are you back to school ready? Head to the Staples in Hyannis this Sunday, the 18th, to participate in the Barnstable Police Department's annual backpack drive. From 12 to 6 p.m., the Police Department, People of Action, and Kiwanis Club of Hyannis will collect and distribute backpacks and school supplies to anyone who needs back-to-school provisions.
The community school at the Cape Cod Tech announced the launch of its once-a-year evening healthcare classes designed for adult learners. The program, beginning in the fall, provides a flexible learning environment for adults balancing work, family, and education. Programs include dental, medical, and veterinary assistant training and are ideal for individuals seeking a career change. To enroll, you can visit communityschoolcct.org.
Attention, Barnstable High School community members. New Chromebooks will be assigned to every student at BHS for the 24-25 school year, beginning on August 28th and 29th. Students are advised to bring their assigned device, charger, and case to the high school to be returned and exchanged for newer models.
The newly redesigned and refreshed Kennedy Legacy Trail is ready for action. The JFK Hyannis Museum will hold a ribbon-cutting event at noon on Wednesday, August 21st, to celebrate the reopening of the 1.5-mile self-guided walking tour. The tour features 10 sites that uncover stories and history about local history, including the Kennedy's legacy.
Mark your calendars for Sunday, September 1st. From 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. on the Hyannis Village Green, join Club 9 Ball for Veterans Rock Music Festival. Stop by to see performances by the Dan Lawson Band, Bounce, Nautilus, Nate Perry, and VB and the Buzz. All proceeds will benefit the Cape and Islands Veterans Outreach Center.
Coming up after the break, politics in real life. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to Cape Media News. I'm Jamie Horton.
And I'm Lauren Williamson. Politics in Real Life, a video series produced by GBH News and supported by America Amplified, seeks to engage young voters in local communities to promote voter confidence and engagement ahead of the 2024 election. The production visited the Cape this week and set up shop at Bread and Roses on Main Street in Hyannis. We sat down with lead producer Alexi Cohan to tell us more about this unique program.
So Politics IRL came about via America Amplified, which is a nationwide initiative funded by CPB. It encompasses all 50 public media stations throughout the whole United States. So GBH decided to get involved in America Amplified. Per that initiative, you have to focus on a specific demographic or underrepresented community in your area and launch a project based on that demographic. So at GBH, we were tossing around a whole bunch of ideas. We're like, what are we gonna do for our project? And we settled on Gen Z. This is specifically because, as we know, Gen Z or young voters are not always tuned into public media. We tend to attract a demographic that's slightly older. And in the Boston area, we have so many Gen Z and young voters, knowing that we live in like a college and university town in Boston. I have always wanted to do a video series with kind of debates between young voters. This was an idea that I had for a long time, and it felt like the perfect time to bring it to fruition. I think at the heart of this project for me personally is showing our audience that something that nobody in America really wants to do right now, which is sit down with a stranger and talk about politics when you disagree, is something that young generations can do and are doing. And so having the friends do it as well was a really fun chemistry change. They were two gentlemen who had a lot of fun. They're lighthearted with one another, but they also talked about some really deep issues, and so we're happy to break format and give it a try. One question I ask the subjects at the end of every interview is, did you change your perspective on this issue? Like, have you changed your mind? Usually everyone says that they still feel the same way. A lot of times because the subjects are talking about really deep-rooted issues. You're not really gonna suddenly change your mind about something like women's reproductive rights. But we did have a video centered on women's reproductive rights. We had one woman who was pro-choice, and we paired her with a gentleman who was pro-life. Obviously, it's hard to find common ground on that issue, and they really were starkly opposite from one another. Now, they didn't end up any closer together on the issue, but at the end of the video shoot, they high-fived, and they said they had a really good time talking, and that meant everything to me. It was really cool. Like, they genuinely enjoyed their experience, and we've reached out to our participants afterwards, too, to like loop them in on other projects or interview them for other things, and they're so quick to participate, these two. So like anytime we wanted them to participate again, they were ready to do it and they were excited to do it. And knowing that they had a conversation where there were such stark differences and they had a good time and high-fived at the end, like that meant everything to me. It was awesome to see that. I think it's taught me a lot. We're centering the project in community journalism and engagement journalism, which I've been learning a lot about along the way with America Amplified. Basically, what that looks like for us is centering the participants as like the driver of this project. In a lot of the shoots, I let the subjects totally run with whatever conversation they want without interference from me. We center the shoots around a location that's comfortable, the schedule that's comfortable for the participants. And so continuing that forward is really important to me. If anyone is interested in it, please reach out to us. The project, again, is called Politics IRL, which means in real life. We have our own landing page website for Politics IRL where you can send us questions, ask about the election, and engage with us. We're also here to answer questions about the election, questions about voting, and continuing to connect with the younger generation. So the project's not over. Please do reach out to us.
For more information, you can check out www.wgbh.org.
As the summer winds down, seasonal staff are beginning to head back off Cape. Chatham town officials would like to remind the public that the last day all beaches will have a full lifeguard staff will be Friday, August 23rd. For up-to-date information about lifeguard staffing at Chatham beaches, head to chathamma.myrec.com.
Starting on Monday, August 19th, the town of Barnstable's contractor will begin paving Finney's Lane from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., weather permitting. A detour will be in place from Strawberry Hill Road to Waquaket Lane, back to Finney's Lane. Local residents and emergency access will be maintained throughout the construction, and traffic control will be on site. While paving is expected to take a full week to complete, real-time updates will be available for you on Waze.com.
Join Cotuit Library on Monday, August 19th at 2 p.m. for an interactive story time with science expert Professor Gil Newton. Professor Newton will present his book, A Young Person's Guide to the Beach, and facilitate hands-on activities, including fun crafts. At the end of the event, each child will take home their own book, which teaches children about plants and other wildlife they can find on Cape beaches. For more information or to register, visit cotuitlibrary.org.
Pop-Up Street Cape Cod is looking to fill their last 3 vendor spots for the Global Flavors Market next month. This once-a-month pop-up market will be on September 6th from 4 to 8 p.m. on Main Street in Hyannis. The vendor fee is only $50 for artists and $60 for food vendors. Pop-Up Street's mission is to support local talent by keeping participation affordable. For more information, check out popupstreetcapecod.com.
Chatham's 53rd Annual Festival of the Arts is this weekend. Starting today in Chase Park, this free celebration of art features 120 artisans and craftsmen. In addition to showcasing high-end arts and crafts, the festival features a children's arts and crafts tent, shuttle bus service, and food trucks. The festival will run Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. daily. And lastly, this evening, we send it to Ryan Downs with a recap of this week in sports.
Welcome back to the Cape Media News Sports segment. I'm your host and local sports guy, Ryan Downs. We got the championship series of the Cape Cod Baseball League this past week, so let's get right into the recap. The number 3 East Division seed Harwich Mariners took on the number 4 West Division seed Bourne Braves. The Mariners last won the championship in 2011, while the Braves are hoping for a three-peat. In the first game of the series, Harwich defeated Bourne 7-3. Bourne's starting pitcher held Harwich to 1 run over 4 innings, but the Mariners' offense came alive, with key hits from numerous players to fuel a decisive 5-run 5th inning. While out-hitting Harwich 13-10, Bourne made 3 crucial base-running mistakes, including a failed hit-and-run and a costly pickoff, which led to the Mariners taking a 1-0 series lead. Facing elimination, the Braves came out swinging in Game 2, defeating Harwich 7-1. Bourne scored in each of the first 4 innings, highlighted by Chase Megger's RBI triple in the first and Dave Lewis' 400-foot home run in the second. The Braves' offense totaled 11 hits and 5 walks, keeping constant pressure on Harwich. And in the 3rd inning, after pulling their starting pitcher, Bourne's bullpen took over and closed the door on Harwich's chances. Griffin Hughes and Justin West combined to allow just 3 hits over the next 6 2/3 innings. Harwich struggled offensively, stranding 11 runners and recording just 1 hit with runners in scoring position. With momentum back on their side now, the Braves aim to complete their three-peat, while Harwich seeks its 6th title in a winner-take-all Game 3. And Game 3 saw the Harwich Mariners take an early 3-0 lead with RBIs from Macon Winslow, Wilson Weber, and Cade Kurland. Bourne put up 2 in response in the 4th inning, but left bases loaded to end the 5th inning without scoring 1. Mariners' Cam Maldonado delivered the game-winning hit in the 7th inning with an RBI double, extending Harwich's lead to 4-2. Though Bourne's David Lewis had an RBI single in the 8th, the Mariners held on as Kevin Zarnock secured the save with a flawless 1-2-3 9th inning. In just 13 pitches, he retired Bourne's 8th, 9th, and leadoff hitters. After getting the first hitter to fly out to left, Zarnock struck out the next 2. And the Mariners claimed their first Cape Cod Baseball League title since 2011, taking down the Bourne Braves with a final score of 4-3. Wilson Weber, a 22-year-old from Oregon State, was named playoff MVP. And that's it for this week's update. Back to you, Lauren and Jamie.
Thank you so much for joining us this evening. If you have a story that you would like to see covered, send us an email at newstip@capemedia.org.
Tune in every week for more hyperlocal news that matters on Channel 26, Apple TV, Roku, and Fire TV.
Be sure to follow us on all of our social media, including Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. For Cape Media News, I'm Lauren Williamson.
And I'm Jamie Horton.